Hey everybody, FLW Pro John Boyles here. Just wanted to give you a quick recap of the inaugural event of the FLW season for 2020 on Sam Rayburn Lake in Texas. Finished 78th. It was a pretty trying tournament for me. Day one, I only caught 2 fish. Unbelievable, but it is what it is. I had some opportunities. I lost 3 or 4 on day one. They were just biting my trap funny. And then day two, had a solid comeback. I had 14-1, which was a top 25 bag the second day. But ultimately I fell 5 ounces short of getting a check. But I did go from 127th after the first day all the way up to 78. So gained some valuable points towards the end of the year. Just kind of go over practice a little bit. The first day, I didn't have a great day. I had, I think, 2 or 3 keepers, had a few other bites. Just never found anything I thought was real solid. Second practice day, I probably had 7, 8, 9 keepers, second and third day. So I kind of figured out that I could pretty much fish shallow and get 7, 8, 10 bites a day if I was lucky, and those seem to be quality fish. I did spend a little time out deep Carolina rigging. I caught quite a few fish doing it. I just never caught any big ones out there. It'd just be a keeper with the occasional 2-pounder. So my game plan going into the tournament was to stay shallow and throw my chatterbait and my trap, and I thought I could do okay. So anyways, on our off day, it was about 38 degrees and it rained all day long. There were 2 spots I was fishing, one in the back of Caney Creek, and the second one was kind of in the main basin of Veach up on a flat. On day one, I decided to start in Caney, and I noticed when I got in there that the water temperature had fallen about 4 degrees or so. It was a little concerning. I started off in a pocket where I caught 3 in practice. I kind of fished my way all the way to the back with my trap, nothing. And I started coming out. I picked up a white chatterbait I threw out there as like first cast. And I caught my best one on day one. It was probably about a 3.5 pounder. And I thought, okay, first half an hour of the morning, I thought if I can buy chatterbait, I'll throw a chatterbait. Well, nonetheless, I struggled. I fished in the back end of Caney for about half of the day, and then I bailed on that and I ran over to Veach. The spot I had in Veach was a little more out towards the main lake, so the water temperature was about the same as it was in practice. I got over there and there were 4 or 5 other guys in that same little area, and where my waypoint was, there's another guy in there. I think he caught like 20-some pounds in the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes of day one. So, I had a good area over there. Maybe looking back, I should have factored in, what I thought the cooler weather and the rain was going to do in the back of Caney versus kind of being a little more out towards the main lake on the second spot. Maybe I should have started in Veach, but that's neither here nor there. So I come in, I caught a second one on day one, and I lost like 3 or 4 others that, felt good, but, they were just biting it funny. I throw my trap out there or my chatterbait, and they would slam it and just slackline you, and I would reel as fast as I could to try to catch up with them, and as soon as I feel them for a second, they come off. So I don't know if it's something I was doing, but I struggled. But looking at the weights overall, it wasn't a slugfest, and there's so many 4 to 7, 8, 9 pounders in that lake. I knew I was just one good bite, from having a really good bag, and even though I was discouraged, I knew I had the potential, if I caught 1 big one, 2 big ones, you know, that I could move all the way from 127th up possibly and make the cut in the top 30. So I wasn't too discouraged. You know, I had a good frame of mind when I went to bed, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to get up on day 2. Of course, I had looked at some Google Earth, and I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll go throw a jerkbait for a little bit in the morning, and then, you know, just kind of start practice all over again. So on day 2, took off, stopped on a few spots, threw a jerkbait. I caught a short fish, and then I had seen another pocket that I thought I might want to run in and look, see if it had any hydrilla in the back of it. Get back there, I didn't see any grass, so I went ahead and I thought, well, I'll run back up to Caney and, you know, and kind of run through a couple of my areas there. And then after that, my plan was just to go fishing, you know. And so I get in Caney, start off in the same pocket that I started the first day. Nothing there, kind of came around the point, and I finally caught my first one on a trap. So I was, you know, pretty happy that I at least caught one start out the day. Yeah, I fished around a little more. And on day 1, when I was running out of Caney, when I put it up on pad, I noticed I saw a little grass patch a little farther out off the bank that I didn't know was there, but I noted it in the back of my head. So kind of day 2 when I get back there, you know, took me a little while, but I finally found it. I used my Garmin Panoptics, you know, just kind of scan around. You can see that little high spot in the grass. And as soon as I got back there, I caught a pretty decent one. Yeah, I mean, not a giant, but about a 3-pounder. So that gave me 2. And then, so I was casting the trap around a little bit more, and I was getting hung up a lot and just fouled up on the grass because it's so thick. So I picked up my chatterbait, and I caught like 3 and 4 casts. So, you know, like I say, starting off the day pretty good. One was a line burner. Then I kind of move on from that a little bit and go this next little spot, and I catch my 5th one. And then anyways, about that time the wind kind of started blowing a little bit, and it kind of started blowing back into that pocket where I started. So I thought, well, I'll run back over there. So I get back in the back of that, and there's one little drain coming in the back, and I catch like 3 or 4 keepers, one being a decent one out of the back of that on the chatterbait. Fish that pocket, no more bites, and I thought, well, I'll come back around the point to where I caught my first fish that morning. I had one hit a trap. He never ate it. So from there I was going to go, there's a little flat pocket to the right, and then I was going to go head down to the next point because I had a bite down there in practice. I had fished that flat pocket in practice and the first day of the tournament and never had a bite. So as I'm about halfway trolling over to the next point, I just fire my trap way out in the middle of that pocket, and I'm just reeling along. I was like, man, I think it has a bite. So I put my power poles down, fire back out there again, and I caught one, and it called. Then get him off, called the fish, throw back out there again, catch a second one, catch a third one, catch a 4th one. And I mean, they were stacked in there. I think it's very situational with the wind blowing in that pocket, but I mean, they were just all over. I probably caught 20 in that pocket alone. Then, so at this point, I'm working on a pretty decent bag. At this point, you know, I thought I had, you know, around 12 pounds. Not a great bag, but considering my first day, it was decent. So I thought, you know, I'm going to go back over to that high spot in the grass because I just had a feeling that was a place where I could catch a big one. You know, it had deep water close. There's a creek channel that kind of swung in right beside it. And so I go back over there. I throw my trap out there, and I catch like a 3.5. So I'm like, okay, now, you know, I've got, you know, 13 pounds maybe. So, so I'm making little circles around this grass patch, and I get out there, and I could see a little grass stubble in, you know, 4 to 6 feet of water, and I just really felt that's where I was going to get my big bite. And I didn't have a 3/4 ounce trap tied on, but I did have a flashy swimmer with the Kitech 4.8 on it, and I thought I could throw it out there, slow roll it, and well, lo and behold, I get the bite I've been looking for all day. It pretty much slacklined me, just kind of like they were doing with the rattle trap. And I reeled down on it. My line was screaming off to the right. Reeled down, set the hook, and I couldn't turn the fish. It was just going sideways. I knew it was a fish that would certainly probably get me a check, but it was a big one. And I had it on for about 3 or 4 seconds, and it come off. It's part of it. I hated it, but what can you do? So at the end of the day, I came in. I was pleasantly surprised. I had 14-1 and moved way up in the standings. Kind of show you what I was throwing. My rattle bait was just a Booyah trap, 1/2 ounce. I replaced the hooks with a number 2 and a number 4 KVD short shank, sharp, and I've had pretty good success with it. Threw it on a 7.6 Denali Rosewood. It's kind of an old cranking rod that I had, medium heavy, with 16-pound line. And my chatterbait, I would just, it's kind of a homemade chatterbait, 1/2 ounce, white with a skinny dipper as the trailer. On the Denali Lithium, 7.4 frog rod. I use this frog rod for a lot of stuff. It's worked great this week, making long casts, being able to rip it out of the grass. And then I say the flashy swimmer, I was throwing it on a 7.6 swim bait rod, Lithium series. Great rod as well. Same 16-pound line for all that. But overall, I was happy with the way I finished the event. Wasn't happy with the way I started, but instead of getting discouraged, I just put my head down, went back to work on day 2, and had a good mental outlook for the day. And I think it really helped at the end of the day. Like I say, it was just a fun day out on the water, day 2. So anyways, about 3 weeks, we go to Lake Harris in Florida. Last time we were there, I didn't have a great event, so I'm looking forward to getting back there and trying to do a little bit better. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have any questions, you can just drop a comment down below. Please hit subscribe to my channel. I'd sure appreciate it. Anyways, see you next time.